about Old Delhi that hasn't been said before. The former seat of the Delhi Sultanate, the former walled city, is now, at first glance anyway, little more than a crazy cacophonous world. That for every imposing ruin that still stands tall is another crumbling beyond repair. That somehow amidst the madness exists a method. That each overplied road carries more tales than we can hope to tell. That each bylane of them offers untold rewards of the culinary kind to anyone adventurous enough to explore them. But here's the thing, few choose to. The hungry who head here, myself included, more often than not, settle for the tried and tested. We play it safe with the all-access sizzle of Parathe Wali Gali, the smoke and spit of Kareem's, or the creamy cool of the Dahi Bhalla at Natraj. And then there's Pamela Timms, a Scottish writer whose blog Eaten Dust and whose critically acclaimed book Korma, Kheer and Kismet chronicle her explorations beyond the obvious. Her writings are evocative, exciting and seem somehow to bring back the romance associated with this corner of the capital. So thoroughly seduced, I asked her to take me around, to introduce me to her discoveries and to share what drove someone whose stomach can't be used to these excesses to, well, dig in this deep.
You know, what's not to love? The madness of it, the non-stop chaos. It's like a different world. Yeah. It really is like a different world, and you feel like you've gone back in time. And then the food. Once I started eating the food here, that was it. So I was completely sunk. The more I tasted of things that were a bit more hidden, off the beaten track, the more sucked in I got.
Well, it's my turn.
We'll go to some of the places that I really love, some of my favourite places that I wrote about in the book, and meet some of the people that make these things. Yeah. But also, actually, what always happens in Old Delhi when you wander around, you see things, some new things, and you think, oh, I wonder what that is, and you end up trying it. And by the end of the day, you've got 6 new favourite things to eat. So hopefully that'll happen.
Within minutes, it did.
Well, let's look at that tea over there. Look, what's that?
A nice cup to start off the day.
Yeah.
That's not your usual pot of masala chai. What's going on?
That looks a bit different.
It does.
With the big leaves in it as well. That's.
And then, ये क्या है? वही है namkeen chai.
Ah, this then must be a type of noon chai, though minus in this case, I am told the makhan. That's not bad news.
It doesn't look particularly pleasant.
It does not, I have to say.
Especially the foam on top.
Yes.
And there goes the salt. Nothing ventured, that might be our new favourite thing of the day.
I wouldn't hold my breath.
All right, we're going in. The first cup comes, but with a warning. It hasn't been brewed enough.
एक और? ओए, thank you. हाँ? अभी कच्ची है? तो कितना टाइम लगेगा तैयार होने में?
कम से कम आधा घंटा लगेगा जब रखा है.
We're saying it's not ready.
Saying half an hour.
But we're in too far to turn back now.
It doesn't smell very good. It doesn't taste like tea, that's for sure. But maybe if you think of it as soup, it might be okay.
It's also just underbrewed, right?
It could be underbrewed. They'll come back in half an hour.
Thank you.
It's not his fault. Brewing is everything, but it's early and we're hungry, so the next dish is a no-brainer. The eatery, though, is probably a surprise. A long way down from Jama Masjid sat a lane which, if you didn't know where to find, well, you wouldn't. It sits a while away from the action and from the street that borders the action. But it's here that I am assured a feast awaits me.
Breakfast is here.
This is the legendary Nihari place. Namaste.
Namaste.
It's one of my favourites. Yeah, and they do everything really well here. Okay. Lots of bone marrow and trotters and brains.
So this is the Haji Shabrati Nahari Wala. As all good places do over here, it doesn't look like much. Though in its dusty, musty, cramped little quarters lies its own charm. The vats out front steaming hot, the smells wafting from them, the Khamiri rotis flying from hand to tandoor. A creaky table awaits us, we squeeze in and in seconds our plates arrive. The mutton curry thick and rich and just a little rough around the edges, but I promise in this rich, robust, ridiculously good way.
great thing, look at the way the meat just sort of falls away. All of these flavours have really got to know each other.
I'm actually convinced that the Kheer roti is served not because it's such a good vehicle for the sauce, but because it's such a good vehicle for the oil.
Whatever way, actually, whatever it's for, it's so good.
Yeah.
You know, you watch them making it, and the precision of the amount of time they have it in the oven, just get that little bit of crisp. But keep it all doughy in the middle. It's so good, isn't it?
So good.
It's really spicy, but
Spicy, delicious.
And you can just imagine the Mughal soldiers lapping this up in the morning.
And then marching for like an entire day.
Marching for an entire day. You wouldn't need anything else.
Except maybe the bheja or brain to go with it. And this, a bowl full of those quivering bits of marrow. This, folks, is what you call a breakfast.
I'm not doing the meat. But I'm a little in love with this gravy. ये क्या है? Butter fry उस पे. Did you hear that?
What did you say?
They serve it with butter fry. क्योंकि काफी तेल नहीं है नली में.
Yes, because what was missing from the richest curry in the country was some butter. But we're here, and it's there, and it does smell amazing, so...
Okay, this is really good. this is obscene, but my God, so good. I can't believe I'm eating this.
Breakfast.
Yeah, I did not know this was a thing. No, I really did not know this was a thing.
I don't know, maybe it's their thing. Then they have a little each. That's the great thing about these.
This is a great thing.
Is that they have their own special little thing. So if you are the kind of person who likes extra butter with your fat, you're going to come here every day, aren't you?
Doesn't have extra butter with that.
And that's
I can't believe that's a sentence we are even saying.
Yes, we should be ashamed, and we quite possibly will be, but not just now. Now it was back to the bustle of the by-lanes. There are few that Pamela hasn't explored, and few that haven't made it worth her while.
Just being here for me is it's a kind of refuge from everything in the rest of your life. And so there was that side of things. I come here, and I completely lose myself in the gullies. The minute I'd had a couple of the dishes, I kind of knew that, by any standards, they were really good dishes, and I was really curious about that, about how, in these kind of surroundings, in kitchens that are really basic, people can produce food that's,
world class. Yeah.
Really.
So we wander, we amber, we try a bite or few, fried bread and suji, don't mind if we do.
And sugar there.
Fair amount of oil there.
We're just going to be upping the stakes.
She did in minutes. You see, it was time for Brekka number 2.
So this is a lovely little place that does bread mi aloo.
Oh, nice.
And nagori and halwa. Another breakfast of champions.
It's again small, unremarkable, though it does smell a lot like heaven.
Asked a local, where's a good breakfast? And they pointed us here.
Nice.
I always ask a local.
She's not wrong. And there we go. Delicious bhed meat, piping hot and smelling like sunshine. Along with it, the incredibly intense aloo rasawala. It's kicky, it's spicy, it's hearty, it's salty. It's just really, really excellent.
See this time of year, look at the lovely red carrots.
Yeah.
Oh. It's one of my favourite breakfasts. It's one of the first things I ate when I came to India.
Puri aloo. Okay, this is exceptional aloo.
The suji halwa and the biscuit that accompany it are on the money too. And do not let the fact that the money involved for all this is about 30 rupees discourage you. This is a brilliant, bountiful, unbeatable bargain.
When you try and make it at home, it is never going to taste like that. And that's, it's partly because he's been doing it for 50 years, but it's also just the fact of eating in this setting, this amazing sort of theatre of old Delhi. You can't replicate, whether bits of dust get in your food and that enhances it, I don't know. But just being able to, stand here and eat your bhed mi aloo with all of this going on, it's just,
it's magical.
It's magical, you can't do it anywhere else.
I I was almost afraid to ask what was next, but I shouldn't have did. You see, a little while away is a place that once again looks unpromising, a place that sells just one thing, and a place that it turns out is responsible for two names in her book title. Yes, we're here for some kheer, but not any kheer.
So this place is very special for you, right?
Very special. Yeah. One of the first places I came to in Old Delhi. And they're just a charming family. They make amazing kheer. And it's something that even if you bring people who say, I hate rice pudding, and will eat this and go, wow, that is amazing.
It comes out and it was worth the wait. Extra creamy, extra firm, extra, dare I say, ordinary?
It's literally like it's a mishti doi meets kheer. And it's delicious.
Colour of mishti. But they're great. I mean, they've been here since 1880. Wow. So they would do well as things.
And now from the kheer to the Kismet.
Madhubala was born in this building, so there was a lot of talk about, you know, Madhubala's fame and fortune, and she used to come back. So I think he got a taste of that and thought, I know, I'm not going to do that, I'm going to be a wrestler. But his father sort of sat him down one day and said, look, you want a good life with, you know, food in your stomach and clothes on your back, then this is what you need. And then he just said, and then I realised, you know, it's my Kismet. It was the first time I'd heard the word Kismet. Yeah. I didn't know what it meant. When I first came to Old Delhi and started kept coming back, there was definitely a sense, feeling like this, I was meant to come and write a book about Old Delhi.
Listening to her tales, working my way through her finds, it's hard to disagree. And no, we haven't forgotten the korma, it's just that first up, one other thing that has dominated her writings about Old Delhi.
Dolak chaat. When you think of chaat in Delhi, you think of salty, you know, other kinds of snacks. But this is something so unusual. I think even in India it's very unusual. That's only made in the winter months. It's very fragile. I mean, it looks kind of like uncooked meringue.
Right.
Is what it looks like. Yeah. But in fact, when you taste it, it's like a cross between a souffle and a cloud or something like that. It's almost not there. It's so light.
Yes, Dolat ki chaat, seasonal, special, positively ephemeral, and true to form, it comes with legends attached.
Because the legend of this is that it's made only by the light of the moon, and it gets set by the dew of the morning, and they do it all by hand. And everyone said, that's rubbish, they don't do that. Now they make it by machine, obviously. So I wanted to go and find out whether how they were making it. No, that I have seen this man whisking this dish.
When I get to reap the rewards, it's as magical as the tales would have you believe. And even better, we're not done yet. Yes, stay tuned after the break. It's time for some korma.